Joe Curry, head football coach at the University of St. Francis. I've been around football as long as I can remember. My father was a head high school football coach for, I don't even know how long, 37, 38 years. And I was a little guy on the sidelines, you know, being the ball boy and all those different things ever since I can remember growing up. And so I always knew that I wanted to be involved in football, and you know, just lucky for the opportunity that I've had in my life to be around football ever since I was little. I played at Aurora Central Catholic High School. I played for my father, which was a challenge. I also had my father for 3 years in the classroom too. I sat in the front row, and he always had me in the same seat every day. My main positions were defensive middle linebacker, and on offense I played fullback. But I kind of played everything else as well. I played some games at offensive line. I played some games at wide receiver. I played some games on defensive line. So we were a small school. You know, you needed to play everything and do everything for your team. Challenging, because anything that went wrong in practice, it was my fault. I can remember one time specifically where, you know, I was a sophomore and I was playing up on varsity, and we were in a scrimmage, and I caught a pass over the middle and ran for about 30 yards, and I fumbled. And before I could even get off the pile, my father was right there in my face, not even letting me off the ground, just yelling at me, saying that I caused him a turnover and this and that, and it's unacceptable. And here I was a sophomore, you know. But that's the kind of demanding type of a coach and father my dad was, and it was awesome for me because it made me learn very early on what the expectations were, and hopefully, I think, made me become a better person and man. So football, it's a lot about life. To me, there's no other sport around that knocks you down to your knees and makes you hurt, and then forces you to get back up again, and do it all over again, and that's life. Sometimes life knocks you down, and you got to get back up or keep fighting, or life is going to continue to knock you down. That's why I love football, because it's so much about life. During the recruiting process of my high school career, I was like every other kid in America. Thought I was Mr. Big Time and thought I was going on to bigger and better things. I was getting little recruiting calls from Purdue, from Illinois, Iowa. Iowa actually came to my school, and I got pulled out of class, and they just really wanted to see if I was 6'2", and they said I wasn't. So I got a little bit of the taste of that, and so I thought I was Mr. Big Time, so I took the highest offer that I could, which was Indiana State University, 1AA school in Terre Haute, Indiana. And I went down there for 2 years and loved the football, but the school being that far away and everything just wasn't right for me. So after 2 years, I transferred back. I wanted to get someplace back close to home, and I had some buddies who were already here at the University of St. Francis, so I transferred back here, close to home, and an opportunity to play. And when I got here, I was a 3-year starter here at St. Francis at defensive line. In college football, you're around 100 guys for 12 months, and you build some pretty strong connections with your friends there. 2 guys that stood up in my wedding were from St. Francis football. At the same time, you know, I made some good friends, but football was challenging back then. I was part of the, I believe, the only winless team here at St. Francis in 1998. We went 0-11, and we played some great competition back then. We played in the old MIFC, which is now the GLIAC, with the Ferris States, with the Grand Valleys, with the Saginaw Valleys, those type schools, and every week was challenging. Some of the scores I remember, we were getting beat 58-0, 63-0. You know, so it was tough going out there and playing every week, but you know, it was an experience that, again, going back to football, you know, it taught me a lot about, hey, I'm getting knocked down here, I got to get back up and keep fighting. And as we got going on in my college career, my senior year, I believe we finished 5-6, which was, at that time, if we would have won our last game my senior year, it would have been the first winning season in our program for, I think, like the past 9 or 10 years. So I felt like we had a little bit of success there when I was a senior, because we had a pretty good team that year. You saw some light at the end of the tunnel and we were done. No, I always knew I wanted to coach, but I never thought that I would get the opportunity here. Obviously, with our success over the past couple of years that we've had here presently, I thought that there might be a shot. But being a head coach, in this business and college coaching, it's a tough business to get a job. There's many coaches out there who are real deserving, and guys that I talk to all the time that flat out don't have jobs. So I consider myself extremely lucky the fact that I did get the opportunity, and hopefully I don't let it go to waste.